The Vorthak had been unstoppable for 3 cycles. Across 17 star systems, entire fleets had been reduced to scrap metal and organic matter within hours of its awakening. The creature defied classification, part energy, part matter, existing in dimensions that hurt to perceive. It consumed not just flesh and metal, but the very essence of organized military force itself. Admiral Kethvar of the Galactic Defense Coalition watched the tactical display with mounting horror. The crimson dot representing the Vorthak had just finished processing the remains of the Centaurian Third Fleet. 18,000 souls, gone in minutes. The creature had grown larger. All remaining forces maintained distance of no less than 50 astronomical units, Kethvar commanded, his mandibles clicking with nervous energy. Do not engage. Repeat, do not engage. The bridge fell silent except for the hum of life support systems. Through the viewport they could see it, a writhing mass of impossible geometry that seemed to fold space around itself. When fleets approached, it would extend tendrils of pure entropy that unraveled ships at the molecular level, while simultaneously draining the tactical knowledge from their crews' minds. "Sir," Lieutenant Zareth reported, her scaled hands trembling over her console, "we're receiving a transmission from the human vessel." Kethvar's eyes narrowed. The humans had arrived 3 standard hours ago in a single unremarkable ship, no weapons visible, minimal shielding, crew complement of 1. When offered evacuation, they had politely declined and requested permission to have a look. Put them through. The holographic display shimmered, revealing Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran vessel Wanderer. She appeared calm, almost contemplative as she floated in what looked like an observation bubble protruding from her ship's hull. "Admiral," she said, her voice carrying that peculiar human quality of measured confidence, "I'm going to approach the entity." "Captain Chen, that is inadvisable. We've lost 47 fleets to that creature. Our combined military might has been feeding it," she interrupted gently. "Every weapon fired, every tactical formation deployed, every strategic thought focused on destruction. It devours all of it. You're giving it exactly what it wants." Kethvar's translator struggled with the human's next words, something about hangry and cosmic tantrums, but the meaning was clear enough. Somehow this lone human believed she understood what had stumped the galaxy's greatest military minds. "Captain, with respect, your species has only been spacefaring for 2 centuries. This entity predates most of our civilizations." Sarah smiled, that unsettling human expression that could mean anything from joy to defiance. "Admiral, how old do you think children's tantrums are?" Before he could respond, her ship began moving toward the Vorthak. The creature noticed immediately. The space around it rippled as it oriented toward this new threat. Tendrils of annihilation reached out, probing, tasting the approaching vessel. But something was wrong. The human ship carried no weapon signatures, no tactical formations, no organized military intent to consume. Sarah's vessel slipped through the creature's outer defenses like water through a net. On the bridge of the Coalition flagship, every sensor was focused on the impossible scene unfolding before them. The Vorthak, which had grown to the size of a small moon after its feeding frenzy, was hesitating. "She's broadcasting something," reported the communications officer. "Not on standard channels. I don't know how to classify it." The transmission was unlike anything in their databases. No tactical codes, no weapons protocols, no military structure at all. Instead, it carried something that their translation systems could barely parse. Pure intent, wrapped in what humans called language. Sarah's ship came to rest just outside the creature's event horizon. Through her observation bubble, she could see the Vorthak clearly now, a wounded thing, ancient and lost, striking out at anything that felt like a threat. Its tendrils waved frantically around her ship but couldn't seem to gain purchase. She took a breath and opened a direct communication channel. "Hey there, big guy," she said softly. "You must be so tired." The creature's movement slowed. Across the galaxy, psychic races felt something they had never associated with the Vorthak before: confusion. "You've been eating armies for so long, haven't you? All that anger, all that fear, all those weapons pointed at you. It must taste terrible by now." The tendrils stopped waving. In the silence of space, something that had terrorized civilizations for eons actually seemed to be listening. Sarah moved to the very edge of her observation bubble, placing her palm against the transparent aluminum. You know what I think? I think you're just hungry for something else. Something no army can give you. She reached into her pocket and pulled out something that made every military scanner in the fleet register absolute bewilderment. A small, wrapped object that emanated no energy signature whatsoever. It's chocolate, she explained, though she knew the creature couldn't eat physical matter in any conventional sense. From Earth, made with care, not conflict. It's sweet, not bitter. It comes from growing things, not destroying them. The Vorthak had consumed the military might of 17 systems, absorbed the tactical knowledge of thousands of species, devoured enough organized aggression to level galaxies. But it had never encountered anything like this, an offering made not from fear or strategy but from simple kindness. Sarah unwrapped the chocolate bar and took a small bite, savoring the taste. Would you like to try something different for once? The space around them began to change. The writhing mass of the Vorthak started to slow its rotation, its chaotic geometry settling into something almost peaceful. The tendrils that had destroyed fleets now reached out with what could only be described as curiosity. I know you're probably not actually hungry for chocolate, Sarah continued, her voice barely above a whisper but somehow carrying across the void. But maybe you're hungry for what it represents. Care, patience, the idea that something can exist just to bring joy, not destruction. The creature's form began to shift, contracting, becoming smaller and more defined. For the first time in recorded history, the Vorthak was shrinking. Sarah smiled and spoke the word that would echo through military academies for generations to come. Not shouted as a command, not declared as the ultimatum, but whispered like a lullaby. Enough. The Vorthak stopped. In the silence that followed, Admiral Kethavar realized he was witnessing something unprecedented. A human had just accomplished through kindness what the combined military might of the galaxy could not achieve through force. The creature hung motionless in space for a long moment, then slowly began to fold in on itself, becoming smaller and smaller until it was just a gentle glow around Sarah's ship. When the light faded, both the human vessel and the ancient terror were gone. They had simply left, together. Later, xenobiologists would theorize that the Vorthak had been an ancient caretaker species, driven mad by eons of defending itself against aggressive civilizations. Military historians would debate the tactical implications of Sarah's approach for centuries. But Sarah Chen, somewhere in the vast cosmos with her unexpected companion, was probably just sharing her chocolate and telling stories about a blue planet where creatures learned to make peace instead of war. Sometimes the universe just needed someone to whisper enough.